What is up, Heat 'em Up gang? It's your boy Heat 'em Up Trail. I'm back with another video. Now we're gonna get into Stephen A. breaks down Nets versus Bucks in the second round of the NBA playoffs. As y'all know, I'm a Brooklyn fan. Well, I'm not a Brooklyn fan. I'm a KD fan and a James Harden fan, and them two just happen to be on the Brooklyn Nets. So guess what type of fan I am? I am a Nets fan. Hear me. But when they was both together, I was an OKC fan, so let's not do that. When they was both together in OKC, I was both OKC fans. But then when they left, I kind of followed James Harden because KD went to Golden State. But, like, you know, I'm a Niners fan, but, you know, I never really messed with, you know, just KD just going to Golden State after. Because, you know, I never had a problem with the Warriors before. Like, yeah, they went 73-9. They was doing all that good stuff, bad stuff, you know. I didn't have a problem with that. I had a problem with KD going to the Warriors after they went 73-9, and they lost to OKC in the Western Conference to go to the finals. That's what I had a problem with. So I never really liked Golden State after that, nor KD like that when he did that. But once he left Golden State, I mean, I was like, okay, I can like Golden State was cool. I never had a problem with Golden State because, you know, I'm a Niner fan. I mean, I never liked the Golden State Warriors though, but I never had a problem with them. Like, they were doing historic things. I never had a problem with it. I just had a problem with them when KD came. So when KD came, I kind of had to not like him nor the Warriors because they knew that they were doing and they knew that they were cheating. But besides the point, they're on. KD left the Warriors. I was like, okay, I forgive you. Went to the Nets. Then all of a sudden they bring Harden to the Nets. So I was like, whoa, you already know I'm back on my things, you know, as far as KD Harden combo. You know what time it is. So, because, you know, he's from here. He's from where I'm from. So, you know, I'm gonna love KD. And James Harden, that's just my favorite player of all time. Like, he's my favorite. That's my guy. I got his jersey. You know, all that. I got both. I'm just saying. But we're gonna get into Nets versus Bucks in the second round. We'll be reacting to the highlights of all games. I didn't really get to react to the first round because I was on vacation. So, but going forward, I am reacting to all of the NBA games regarding Brooklyn and just exciting games around the NBA playoffs. So, with that being said, we need to get into how Stephen A. is going to break down, and Max Kellerman, and I believe it's Kendrick Perkins that's also
in Brooklyn. Max Kellerman, Milwaukee Bucks waiting on the Nets. Will that help or hurt them?
It's going to hurt the Bucks, and let me explain why. It's not that the Bucks will be any worse for it. They may even be better for it. But the Nets, by having that series extended, even if they lose another game to Boston, that might be good for them. Remember, when these big three got together in Brooklyn, the offense was immediately amazing. The defense took 2-3 weeks, and it happened much faster than I thought it would, to go from worst ever to actually they can hold it down. The Nets need a little time to start getting connected on defense. And a loss here or there in the playoffs that gives them a little more time actually is good for them. And in a zero-sum game, when two teams are playing each other, what's good for one team is bad for the other. So it's good for the Nets, it's bad for Milwaukee.
I think Max's position is utterly ridiculous. Every time you...
I wasn't expecting that, Stephen A. I wasn't expecting that. Max Kellerman be coming on here. He be really confident in what he's saying. You know, he be talking. Like, sometimes I'm not gonna hold you though. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Max Kellerman do be making sense in some of the things he's saying. But I feel like Stephen A. just has to be like, you're utterly ridiculous. I didn't say anything, just so it could be more of a debate. But some things Max Kellerman says does not always be ridiculous. But in this type of matter, I did not understand a word Kellerman was saying for real. I mean, going another game would have just helped the Bucks because they would have been more rested, and the Brooklyn Nets would have been more tired going down the stretch of the series. It would have only helped the Nets for like one game or two as far as the series versus the Bucks, because they will be on energy, and you know, Bucks will be coming back from rest. So, you know, the Nets would have been, it would have helped them out as far as more as game one, possibly game two. But the rest of the series though, I feel like it would have went back to the Bucks because they would have been more energized and they would have finally got their rest back. But other than that, yeah. But let's get back to
Harden, KD, Kyrie. You're praying nobody gets injured. Why would additional games be helpful to them? When you bring into the equation what a juggernaut they are offensively, and the lack of a priority defense is for any squad that has D'Antoni's name on it, let alone him on a bench. The fact of the matter is that I think the more games they play, the more they endanger themselves with risking themselves to injury.
That's not offset by the defensive improvements over time.
I don't feel that way about them. In general, I would agree with your point. Not about them. They don't need to play games they don't have to play.
There's a risk, but injury risk, but defense.
Well, I think personally it helps the Bucks for the simple fact that we all know that Giannis was dealing with an injury towards the end of the season, so it gives him time to rest up because we all know in order for the Bucks to beat the Nets, that Giannis is going to have to be close to 100%, if not 100%. Also, it helps them preparation. When you look at it, they get a chance to scout and watch film, watch a lot of film on how to guard these guys, what to dissect how they playing defense, and how to dissect this Brooklyn Nets defense, which is not hard. So it helps the Milwaukee
Watching
Bucks
film just going to get them depressed, Perk. What are you going to watch? You're going to watch film of the Nets offense? You're just going to get depressed. How to guard them? You can't guard those guys.
You can't.
We're about to find out.
Great to have you with us from your Mediterranean mansion. That was wonderful. It was great to have a therapy session. Thank you, Naomi Osaka, for speaking out.
Carry the hell on.
Thank you.
For the Brooklyn Nets, you got the big three in there. Get it! Kyrie, little finger roll.
That ain't right, man. That's just not fair.
He is having a field day at TD Garden. James Harden sets a playoff record, 18 assists. Durant just keeps on pouring it in. 42 for KD. And the Nets have the Celtics on the brink of elimination now.
It sounds like this, Is the video over?
Hi there, welcome to Forward. Come on in.
The video's over.
I'm Dr. Nate Favini.
Nets big three of Durant, Kyrie, and Harden combined for 104 in Sunday's win, with Durant leading the charge with 42. Jackie Robinson, those 104 points are tied for the most by a trio in a playoff game in NBA history, according to Elias Sports Bureau. Hard to stop.
The double comes late, he's going to score. He's playing mainly because where the Nets have an issue, it creates a little bit of a problem, but Daryl Morey did such a great job on.
All right, the biggest threat to the Nets in the East, that's probably what we'll start off on.
High level. He is a low down low. He finds the open man. He can shoot from the outside. He's great defensively. And then Ben Simmons, their offense could be better because when Ben Simmons is in the dunker spot, it creates a little bit of a problem. But Daryl Morey did such a great job on the fly, surrounding those guys with shooters. They're defenders, high percentage players. The Sixers right now are built in a way that presents the biggest problem for the Nets in the Eastern Conference, mainly because where the Nets have an issue, they got some bodies. Blake Griffin can still play, Claxton, some guys, but no one is going to stop Embiid. He's going to have his way with those guys, and that makes them a threat.
Listen, that makes them a threat. Philadelphia's legitimate, big-time threat. I'm not taking anything away from them, but when we talk about the Nets being the standard that everybody needs to eclipse, I view the Milwaukee Bucks as a greater threat to them because of Ben Simmons.
He has a meniscus
Ben
tear.
Simmons is even though he can put up some points essentially on the offensive end of the floor, it's 4-on-5 basketball that the Philadelphia 76ers are playing. We know he can finish at the basket. We know he can set up guys. But as the game gets tight and you really clamp down, even though I've been on the record for years talking about the Greek Freaks' perimeter limitations, it's nothing compared to Ben Simmons' perimeter limitations. And so when I look at it from that perspective, whether it's Drew Holiday, it's Middleton, it's Lopez, it's P.J. Tucker, it's Forbes now, it's Portis. I understand that, DiVincenzo being out is a loss for them. Please don't get me wrong. But I'm just looking at it from the standpoint that you got guys on Milwaukee you cannot leave open. They can make those shots. And when it comes down, because obviously Philadelphia and Milwaukee are so formidable, Max, I don't anticipate blowouts. I anticipate tightness as the game wanes down the stretch. Being able to make those perimeter shots can make or break a team.
But
and I look at it, and I look at
the Sixers
Milwaukee.
can too now. Just Simmons is the only one who can't shoot.
But I said Simmons. And the reason I said Simmons is because he's so vital in terms of keeping him on the floor. You can't take him off the floor. So that's somebody you don't have to worry about on the perimeter offensively. Look, I don't think there's anybody that you could do that to totally.
But here's the difference to me. If Simmons could really shoot, I might just like the Sixers, period.
That's right. I agree with
that's
you.
how formidable they'd be.
I agree with you.
If Simmons could really shoot, the issue with the Sixers is who is the non-big who can get their own shot and hit shots from the outside. They don't have that. Seth Curry can hit shots from the outside. Danny Green can hit shots from the outside. Tobias Harris is kind of the closest thing to that, but he's not on that level really. Mm-hmm. That's their weakness, and that would be Simmons if he could shoot. But that just means to me they ain't going to win. But they're going to push those guys because
we're not having a debate because of people going to get pushed. We know that Milwaukee and Philly can push those guys, but it comes down to that. And we also
think Milwaukee going to beat them?
I think they got a chance. But here's the thing. I'm still picking the Nets. I'm not jumping off the Nets bandwagon. But here's the point that I'm making. Bigger than anything. It's not just what you do. It's what the opposition does. What's Brooklyn's problem? It ain't offense.
No.
It's defense. So because it's defense, and you take that into consideration, that's what it reasons. That's as good a reason to pick Philly. So again, I don't dismiss the point, but it's Milwaukee and Philly.
Real quick on that, the best thing that could have happened to Brooklyn is losing that game to the Celtics, and for the simple reason it just gives them more time. All they need is reps. The reason I wasn't sure they were going to win the championship at first is the worst defense ever.
That's it.
Within 2 or 3 weeks. I thought maybe they could get the defense together by the end of the season. They did it in a couple of weeks.
That's not what he said.
The loss to the Celtics buys them a little more time.
That's not what you said.
I'm not going to get bogged down. Nice try. You're not going to distract me. The point is that by the time they get to the conference finals, there's a very good chance that the Nets are playing solid defense if the regular season is any indication.
Which you said there was no chance in hell they could pull off because they didn't care about defense.
Okay, so to be clear, biggest threat, you're saying the Sixers, but you don't really think they have a shot. You're saying the Bucks,
has a shot.
And you think they might actually have a shot.
I think
wow.
it's more. I think
that I'm surprised
I think the Clippers might have a shot if they get there.
Yeah, we're talking East. All right.
All right. That's going to do it for this video. Nets versus Bucks. Who do y'all have? I have the Nets and 6. Nets and 6. The Bucks will have to play pretty terrible the first 2 games for me to say 5 games. I'm not going to lie. They will have to play pretty terrible. But I'm going to say Nets and 6. And then they'll go on to play probably the Sixers. As they'll play the Atlanta, I believe. Yes, they'll play Atlanta. So, but then again, I don't know. Atlanta might mess around and scare somebody because I don't think the Sixers is going to have Joel. He has a meniscus tear in his right knee. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. But it all comes down to who's going to the finals. Right here. In the second round. Nets versus Bucks. Will Giannis show up? Will Chris Middleton show up? Will the Nets show up on defense? And that's going to be the real question. Because the Nets has all the firepower in the world. Bucks, Giannis can only really do one thing. I mean, he tries to do 2 things, but when he does 2 things, it just gets too complicated for him. Like, he can't have both. Like, the basketball guys has to limit you somehow. So you won't be just overpowered. For Ben Simmons, it was his jump shot. For Giannis, it's your jump shot. You can't do both. You're either going to be a driver or a scorer. You can't be like LeBron. I'm sorry. But that's going to do it for the video. I'm excited for this series. I'm excited for Game 1. I think Game 1 is on Saturday, I believe. I want to say. Or it might be Friday. One of those 2. So, but make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want more basketball. I'm going to give you more basketball videos. Anyways, so I can start growing on that basketball fan base as long as my football fan base. So, but that's gonna do it. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, follow the socials above.